Cities throughout King County are making bicycle improvements to make a safer, more pleasant environment for cyclists. Yet sometimes it can be confusing for bicyclists, bus drivers, or other motorists to understand what to do when they come to an intersection or cross paths.
Bike boxes, shared transit bicycle lanes, cycle tracks, transit islands, and streetcar tracks are important areas for motorists, transit operators, and bicyclists to be aware of each other. Let's take a look at some of these new facilities. Bike boxes feature a green lane painted on the pavement and a box where bicyclists can queue up at a traffic light and get in front of cars for greater visibility. Bike boxes help bicyclists make safer intersection crossings, especially when vehicles are turning and bicyclists are going straight.
Cyclists, when the traffic signal is yellow or red, enter the bike box along the bike lane and stop before the crosswalk. When the signal turns green, proceed, but stay aware of turning vehicles next to or behind you. Make eye contact if you can.
Bus operators, for buses and other motorists, when the signal is red, stop 3 to 5 feet before the stop line marked on the road. Don't stop on top of the green bike box. Typically at bike box locations, right turns on red will not be permitted. When the light turns green, drivers turning right should signal and watch for cyclists approaching from the right.
A number of transit-only lanes are shared by buses and bicycles, with general motor vehicle traffic restricted during certain times of the day.
Bus operators, be aware that in a shared bicycle bus lane, a bicycle is permitted to be anywhere in the lane. Remember, a bicyclist on downtown streets is often traveling at a similar speed to a bus, especially when going downhill. When passing a bicyclist, maintain steady speed. If conditions do not allow you to give the bicyclist a minimum of 3 feet of space, do not pass the bicyclist. Always pull close enough to the curb at a bus stop to discourage bicyclists from squeezing between the bus and the curb.
Cyclists, passing a bus on the right is dangerous. When passing to the left of a bus, allow the same 3 feet of clearance that the bus operator is expected to provide when passing you. It's important to be predictable and to avoid abrupt lane changes.
Seattle's first cycle tracks are now being installed in various locations and will continue being installed over the next few years. Cycle tracks separate bicyclists from moving traffic by placing parked cars or a curb between the bike lane and the vehicle travel lane. Be aware that some of the cycle tracks will provide two-way traffic for cyclists.
Cyclists, when riding in a cycle track separated by parked cars, cyclists need to watch for pedestrians who may step into the cycle track to cross to the sidewalk. Bicyclists should also carefully look for buses and cars when leaving a cycle track to rejoin the vehicle travel lane.
Bus operators, even though bicyclists are in their own lane when riding in a cycle track, drivers still need to watch carefully as bicyclists enter and exit the lane. Bicyclists traveling in a cycle track may not be as visible to drivers if they're positioned behind parked cars. Another type of dedicated cycle lane that we all need to be aware of is streets with transit islands.
Cyclists, use caution when riding adjacent to a transit island and slow down if a bus is present. Passengers getting off a bus or preparing to board may cross the bike lane to reach the sidewalk. Pay special attention to islands with shelters or other facilities as views of crossing pedestrians may be limited by these objects.
Bus operators, be aware of cyclists approaching the transit island and of any passengers that might need to cross the bike lane to board or deboard the bus.
Streetcar tracks are a special hazard for bicyclists. Bicyclists can easily fall if they cross the tracks at the wrong angle or if their bicycle tires get caught in the track. The hazards increase when the tracks are wet. Cyclists, when maneuvering around tracks on your bike or before changing lanes or lane positions, scan, assess, signal, and scan again. Cross rails at a right angle. Riding parallel to or between tracks is risky. If at all possible, use another lane or even another route.
Bus operators, give bicyclists extra space in areas with streetcar rails. Anticipate that they will move erratically in locations where rails are not parallel with the roadway or rail crossings are not perpendicular to the lanes.
Our cities are making a number of improvements to make it safer and easier to ride a bike in our area. Since many of these facilities are in shared lanes with buses, cars, and pedestrians, it's important that we ride safely and watch out for each other.
Watching out for bicyclists, pedestrians, and cars in our shared road environment is our job as we provide our service to the community. Thank you.